Hello everybody and welcome. Thursday night WNBL Chemist Warehouse, and look at that, the Chemist Warehouse drone above the beautiful city of Townsville, which of course during the day plays host, because that's a beautiful part of the world, and at night plays host to this. WNBL action, another big one tonight. The Southside Flyers 9-2 on the verge of a real crack, a deep playoff run, and got to be said, the Sydney Uni Flames, of course, 4-7. Playoffs will not feature, but they continue to build as we go through this WNBL season. My name's Cameron Luke, joined in commentary by NBL champion, and of course, the only man to give a Hungry Jack's cheeseburger with an airball in the NBL history, Peter Hawley. Hello to you.
Mate, good to be here, and as we see the starting lineup for the Sydney Uni Flames, Lauren Mansfield's one I'm actually really keen to watch tonight. Had a bit of a tough game in the last couple of outings shooting-wise, and you know the Southside Flyers guard's going to be really trying to get into her as well, so look to her to bounce back. But this is a huge game for them. They can be a big party spoiler right here to the Southside Flyers, because they just want to be playing their best basketball, that momentum to keep building. We've seen players come in and out of a lot of teams. They've just kind of kept things rolling. No one's sat out to rest games. They've just tried to really build this thing up. They've flicked a switch, and they're going to be led by Liz Cambage, of course, coming off 35 points, and this could be a really good one.
This is a team, Southside, who we've spoken so much about. They're 9-2. They're warming up for a real deep run at this, and that's where we expected them to be. But they've got to continue to work. They've been at different points up and down offensively, but defensively, their last couple of games have been brilliant, and we expect it to continue to tune up as we head into the playoffs. Of course, courtside is the man who's doing a ripping job, Brydens Hazelhurst, who joins us now. Brayden, this joint has been rocking the last couple of weeks, and it's going to continue to do so as we head into finals week next week. How's the atmosphere in there tonight?
Yeah, it's set up for a bit of an interesting one, guys. As you said, Southside riding high after their win streak, and especially after that win against Melbourne on the weekend. And then Sydney, on the other hand, on a 2-game winning streak. And despite their poor form this season, they probably had their best game the other night against the Perth Lynx. So set for an interesting one here tonight, guys.
Most certainly. Brayden, thank you. We'll get to you over the course of the night. And I think you made a good point there, Peter. The fact is that the Flames are getting better, and that's something that when you look at teams that aren't in playoff contention, we understand the shortness of the season, but you can start to build. If you look at Annalie Maley, who's having an outstanding year, Lauren Mansfield, who you mentioned, Swagmire Belger, Nagasoglu off the bench has been really good. This is a young core that we hope, in particular the Flames fans, hope stay together for years to come. So building on that and gaining some momentum into an off-season is a big part of why this game tonight's very interesting.
It absolutely is, and as you said, coming off some good wins, so now they can really try and string this together and, as you said, build it, and they're coming up against no bigger test. The Southside Flyers, since losing to Canberra a week or so ago, really flicked a switch, and defensively they're going to come after these Sydney Uni guards. So a really exciting game I think we're going to have. It
is, and you mentioned Lauren Mansfield. Of course, she's in right there on the cusp of Opal's selection again. She's in for a tough night now. By tough, I'm not saying that she's not going to have a great game, but the fact is that we've spoken about it. Leilani Mitchell, then it's Clydesdale off the bench, and then it's Monconsi. They're really their continual, not need, but the fact that they have those on-ball defenders has made it really hard for opposition point guards. So Lauren Mansfield and Nagasoglu off the bench, who's been really good. In fact, almost my favourite player in the WNBL, because she's got the green light and lets it fly, but they're going to have to make sure they control this team, because their defence, on-ball defence, Southside's has been outstanding.
Well, they do, and you said it right. They're just going to roll players through, and Monique Conti's going to get a chance to go if one of these guards gets off. But with a big match-up tonight, people have not forgotten, Cam, that you made the pledge. So I know Lifeline Round's not still going, but if Liz Cambage gets a dunk, it's a $750 donation. So we're back, and I'm excited that there could be a chance we see a dunk tonight.
I cannot wait. I hope she does dunk it. I did promise her.
You did.
And the league and Lifeline, of course, a wonderful initiative, $750. So I hope tonight is the night.
Make sure you get beside behind your side and make some noise as we work our way through our game tonight. We're set to tip off Flames v Flyers at Townsville Stadium. Here we go.
Burton and Cambage to get us underway at Townsville. Of course, I did tell her in the post-match interview as well, it's 1,000 if it's an alley-oop.
They've already tried one of those, as we saw. I think Leilani Mitchell tried to throw it up. Wasn't really close, but I'm sure she'll remember.
No doubt she remembers as we kick-started. Blitzards off the Cambage screen. Now dumps in on the roll. Underneath, too easy. Missed one she probably should have made. Got it back and does what she does so particularly well and opens her account. Gets a rebound as well. It's 2-0. The Flyers are on the board. Mansfield Sure. Straight on three, no good. Mitchell runs a long rebound down and transition for Southside is something that's improved the last couple of games as well. Here's O'Hay on the little pick and pop, can't hit it. Mansfield. Scherf, little mismatch. They're going to try and get it to Burton. Lob it up. Pass was no good. Goes out of court. So Leilani Mitchell, we know how much of a superstar she is, both in the WNBA and the WNBL, as well as the Opals. Guarded this pretty well, Pete.
Oh, it's just the right idea, and you see Leilani Mitchell fronting and just a pass a bit too strong. But I like the offense so far. Lauren Scherf was 3 of 6 from 3 the other night, so try and get her eye in, because if you can pull Liz away from the rim, then it opens everything up. So good 2 little sets so far from the Sydney Uni Flames.
Cole got nowhere to go. Gives it to Mitchell, who bails her out. That one's a little short. Mansfield with their second board of the night. Now in attack mode. Just drops it off to Maley. She's having an outstanding year, and she opens the Flames account here with a nice little layup. Great give by Lauren Mansfield on the push. Here is Cambage. Burton on the double team, but that's the danger. That's probably a charge. It is, referee confirms it, but that's the danger when you double Liz. There's always someone ready to attack.
Well, he is, and that is, you pick your poison, but really just great take up there right through the chest. But Sarah Blitzar's an outstanding season. She's actually probably the unsung hero of this Southside Flyers team. She's doing absolutely everything for them, averaging 15, 8 and 2 steals. So she's going to have a massive say with how far they go to winning this championship.
Swagmire barrels it right at Cole on the left hand. Couldn't finish it. Blitzar's with the rebound on cue from Peter Hooley. Now it's Cole. Semi-transition all the way. Not a great pass, but Mitchell's able to corral it in. Now it's Cambage on Scherf. One-on-one. Here's a double from the weak side from Mansfield. Got a hand. It's been a scrappy set, but it leads to a wide open 3 that's short. Burton with the board. Here is Mansfield. Little hesitation. Gets all the way to the bucket. Scoops it up with the right hand. Takes it on the wrist from Mitchell and is able to make it work, and she can try and get 3 the old-fashioned way.
She's been terrific, and this is the first shot she's taken, but she's dominated this game so far. She's got 2 rebounds, a nice dime on the play before, and now this. But her defense is outstanding. It looks like she's running over there, really leading by example. You see her come across trying to get that cheeky steal on Liz, but she's everywhere right now, and that's exactly what you want to see after a couple of off nights for her. She's come out real strong.
Little full court press as well from the Flames. Flyers are able to handle it fairly easy. Blitzstars, not a great pass. Burton up to the task, and another turnover for the Flyers. Can the Flames make a break? Great backdoor. Annalie Maley and Scherf, who's an exceptional passer, was able to hit it with the dime, and it's 7-2. The last 7 all from the Flames, and a timeout from the Flyers.
We haven't seen this start offensively from the Flyers for a long time. They missed a couple open 3s, but they've been sped up, and they look like they're forcing it a little bit too much. And give a credit to the Sydney Uni Flames. Their defense has been outstanding. They're all moving together. They're just throwing different things out there. They're doubling every now and then, and it's just working really well to take them out of what they want to do.
Great start for the Sydney Uni Flames. How fun is it? How contagious is the excitement and the intensity of Annalie Maley? I know we've spoken about it, and there's a lot being made of it as well. There should be, but there's a huge reason when you are a team that's kind of struggling, you're not going to make the playoffs, to sometimes find some motivation. She's got 4 points early tonight. She leads the league in rebounds, and every time you watch her play, if you're on the court, if you're on the bench, or you're in a TV studio, it just pumps you up.
Well, she was one of my 3 most impressive performers this season that I touched on Sunday. Just, as you said, leading the league in rebounds at her size. She's just got a knack. She just hunts the boards, and it's so fun to play like that. But she's such a smart offensive player. We've seen her right there. She just cuts well and just gets in the right spots, and that's exactly the type of things that can make you so successful. She's having a great year, and I've been super impressed with what I've seen.
Brydens courtside. He was in the Southside huddle. What were the Flyers talking about?
Yeah, Coach Cheryl Chambers was mainly focused on defense. Thought they lost their man too easily on those dribble penetrations from Lauren Mansfield and those cuts from Annalie Maley. And then offensively, thought their spacing was pretty poor when they passed it into Liz, which allowed Sydney to double team her and get some steals. So spacing the focus offensively and just containing those dribble penetration and cuts from Annalie Maley on the defensive end, guys.
Maley on cue, gets her second rebound of the night after a good look from O'Hay. Didn't go down. Now it's Burton on O'Hay. Runs out of real estate. Shot clock's at 10. Mansfield and Mitchell. Off the Scherf screen. Draws a little double team, but it throws it away when Burton zagged rather than zigging or vice versa.
Well, Burton had great position there, just got a little bit out of control and should have made something of that, because again, they just look really well executing on offense. The Flames right now, and down the other end, they had a little zone. They just keep junking it up and making the Flyers guess, and right now it's just paying off dividends.
Inside the Cambage, little jump hook, that's short. Maley's gonna push. Full head of steam early, the Flames. Scherf wants to take Cambage off the dribble, does exactly that, and kisses it off the window, and that's a little bit of what you spoke about earlier, Pete. The fact she's shooting so well from the three-point line the last week or so, it allows the opportunity to do that. There's another bad pass by Blicavs, another turnover for Southside, and it's all Sydney right now.
It is. They've just, the way they're going out, Lauren Scherf, she's coming off 19, 11, and 5, but you just see where she's meeting Liz. Yeah, Liz is getting deep, but the Flames are helping her out when she does get those deep seals. They've got people digging down, trying to slap at the ball, throwing random double teams. But her physicality has set a tone, and then a great dime right there. Lauren Scherf has started this game really well, along with Lauren Mansfield.
Already 3 assists for Scherf. Cole, great pass himself to Mitchell, who couldn't finish it. Cambage volleyballed it for a second, but only to the hand of Burton, now to Maley. Mansfield just lost it, and now the Flyers, that's going to be an unsportsmanlike. Flyers are off to the races. Lauren Scherf tried to reach in. A professional foul, but in the rules. But it is an unsportsmanlike as we have a look. Hard to argue that one, Pete Hawley.
Well, it is, and I think I'm more devastated as we see who was running down the middle of the court.
Oh, no, yes!
Right there. But it is, that's in the rule book and had to be called.
Yeah. First one's down for Leilani Mitchell. That was almost on. Two from Mitchell.
This is something Cheryl Chambers, I think it was about 5 games ago now since they've got off to a real bad start, and bringing in Clydesdale, bringing in Steph Blicavs just to try and find that energetic spark, and if one of those two can't really go at Lauren Mansfield, then Monique Conti's the next one up, and she's going to come in and just be a dog out there on the defensive end. As you see, the physicality just getting a little too far there, which could hurt the Flames if that's Scherf's second.
So Scherf's had to take a seat, as you mentioned. Blicavs just lobs it in to Cambage. Swagmire Belger comes in over the top, knocks it away. Shot clock's down to 8. Mitchell's going to have to get to work. Lobs it over to Cambage, just too big and too strong inside. Wasn't a great deal that Greaves could do there. And Liz Cambage, she's got 4. That lead is back to 5. Swagmire Belger right at Cambage, but takes a little extra step. She was waiting, I think, for Cambage to bite on the fake pass. She didn't. So we have a look.
But that tough bucket before from Liz, she's going to get those. She's going to get plenty of attempts at those because we just know how dominant she is. She's very big. She's very strong down there, but it's just about making everyone as hard as possible so that over time you slowly wear her down, slowly frustrate her. And as we see there, look at the defense on Liz Cambage in the post. That is outstanding team defense from the guards, but more so in the post. That is great physicality.
Mansfield, great pass to Burton, but I think it could be to no avail. Jenna O'Hay was right there. Mansfield with a full head of steam. Let's have a look. O'Hay steps into it. Crafty veteran of the great defensive play. Wave off the bucket. That's a foul on Lauren Mansfield. That'll be her first of the night. Steph Blicavs guarded by Maley. Here's Clydesdale. Having an outstanding season, and you mentioned it, Pete Hawley. Great spark off this bench. Mitchell, 17-footer, curls around, finds the bottom of the net.
That's great offense. It's the first time we've really seen them run through a play, run the shot clock deep, and just get the ball. That caused a lot of confusion there from the Sydney Uni Flames. Then a wide open shot for one of your best shooters.
Bailey's got 4 early. Shot clock's down to 10. Swagmeyer Belger right at close. I'll give it to Maley. She's got 6.
But that's what I'm talking about. Just the smarts to know that Swagmeyer Belger's just a bit out of control. Just cut to a nice spot where you're going to be confident to knock it down. She's just such an intelligent player, and then doing what she does best on the other end, just wiping the glass.
Outlet pass was picked by Mitchell. Put the foot on the line, couldn't save it.
Look here, we see just about out of control. Saw Steph Blitzarves turn her head and just got to the right spot. And as you said before, just so exciting to watch because she's so smart, and then no matter what, you know she's going to give you that effort on the glass.
Here's Greaves, top of the key on Cam Bays. Wants to take her off the dribble, draws a double team, kicks it out to Mansfield, right in front of the Flames. Bench finds bottom of the net. And that lead is back to 8. They've been able to restore a little bit of that momentum. O'Hay is able to try and stop it the other way in semi-transition. But the last couple of times down the court, the Flames have been able to get good looks, which is something that for a minute or two they stopped getting. Mansfield, inside to Bo, couldn't find Maley. It's Cambage on the steal. Let's go to Brayden Heselhurst, who is courtside. Brayden.
Yeah, guys, as you've said already, the Sydney Flames look really dialed in so far in this game, and the last 2 games, to be honest, it's the most focus I've seen them. And they had their struggles early on in the season, but Coach Katrina Hibbert said they're really focused on trying to get that 5th spot. So something to aim for the Sydney Uni Flames, and they look like they're pretty motivated as well. So let's see if they can keep it up, guys.
Well, they're shooting 78% from the floor. They've got 6 turnovers, otherwise they could have built this lead out a little bit more. And when you're playing the Flyers, who you know have that depth, and Jenna O'Hay's just stood up in the last couple of minutes, but the Flyers have that depth that you've got to make sure you put that 40 minutes together. They've started off really well, but get a shot every time down the floor. Don't do any silly turnovers and really pile that pressure on.
Mansfield's good night continues. She's got 8. Able to cross over Clydesdale and finish with the left. Now it's Cole the other way, right back at you as the Flyers do. Inside to Cam Bays. Referee suggesting was on the floor.
This is where it does come back to hurt him, that unsportsmanlike fouls. Have a look at Lauren Mansfield. She's off to a great start, and I think we'll see Monique Conti soon to try and go to that role to just really get all up and in her. But Lauren Scherf's unsportsmanlike fouls come back to hurt him because she gets the other one in regular play, and now she has to sit because she was off to a really good start, and her physicality was really good on Liz Cambage.
And you mentioned that, to that point, you mentioned the fact where Cambage was catching the ball compared to where she's caught it since she's gone off the floor, and it's a hell of a lot easier to do what she does when she's getting it closer to the ring. Blitzarves to Blitzarves. Second in and out for Steph Blitzarves. And the Flames going to try and build on what is a 6-point lead. Mansfield's been great. Got 8. Puller over Clydesdale. Can't make it 10. Sarah Blitzarves runs down the rebound, and now the Flyers through Jenna O'Hay straight to the bucket. Bo gets a hand in. Referee says illegally. And Jenna O'Hay to the line for 2.
We just know, sometimes we forget just how good she really is because she's surrounded by all these other superstars. When the game seemed to be a little bit out of control for the Flyers, she was the one to settle it down. You can see her leadership in the huddle. She took a massive charge to kind of stem that bleeding. And she's found herself out in transition now at the line for 2.
She reminds me very similar of Nick Kay of the Perth Wildcats last year, who I at different times spoke about maybe the most underrated superstar in Australian basketball. And the fact is that there are always players who may get a little more higher profile attention, but the very fact is that she just gets the job done, game in, game out. And every single time they need someone to do something, more often than not, it's Jenna O'Hay.
Well, you're right. She finished with 15, 7 and 4, and all of a sudden you look at the stats and you're like, wow, I didn't know she had that good of a game because we just expect it from her. That's a massive credit to how good she is.
Burt, little fade away over Steph Blitzarves, able to get it to go. The right back at his Flyers. Look at that. Sarah Blitzarves couldn't make it finish. Bo made it a little tougher. Making it go reverse, couldn't finish it. Mansfield having a great start in total control. Bode for 3. Hard off the rim, but there she is, Annalie Maley again. Rebound number 4 for the first quarter. To go along with 6 points. Now it's Bode. Double team from Blitzarves. That was plural, by the way. Steph thought about it, probably should have. After she hesitated, referee got her with the walk.
It's actually up to 5 rebounds right now for Annalie Maley. And you can just see it was started on one end. She just hunts that and then an offensive glass. And that's what you need against the Flyers. You know they're big, you know they're strong, and they can get a lot of boards and quick. So they're going to need her to be able to do that most of the game.
Mansfield takes a seat. Negasoglu wants for her first time for the night. Here is Maley for 3. Off the eye, no Hay. Gets her second rebound. Now it's Clydesdale, and Southside like to push the tempo tonight. No different. Goal wide open. Cuts a 6-point lead in half as we get to the last 30 seconds of quarter number 1. Here's Negasoglu working off the Rose screen. Great hands by Clydesdale. Beck Cole's off to the races. Burton can't go with her, and Cole goes all the way. The last 5 points are all been Beck Cole's, and the lead is back to 1. As we're into the last 10 seconds. The first quarter. Here is Negasoglu. Wants to use the Burton screen. Now goes into it. Guarded by Blitzarves. 3, 2. Got to let it fly. Cole gets a hand in it. Half a second, so it's going to be a real quick release.
You see the defensive intensity's picked up, and after Cheryl Chambers made a couple subs, their energy's picked up, and they've had a good end to this quarter.
Maley got it off, would have counted, didn't matter, it didn't. But after a very entertaining first quarter where the Flames were able to get away to a good start, Southside end with the momentum the last 5 points. But after 10 minutes, it's the Sydney Uni Flames 20 over the Flyers 19.
Well,
Talk us through it, Pete.
They were the much better team that whole quarter, the Flames. They just don't have enough scoreboard pressure right now to really show for it. They out-rebounded them 11-6, but 8 turnovers at crucial times. And this is what I talked about. When you're playing the Flyers, you can't afford to have any possessions off, because no matter who they sub in, they're bringing in this depth, this extremely talented roster to come in, and they're going to lift their energy, especially after a slow start. So that's the toughest challenge of all. They've started really well, the Flames, and well, arguably the better team for 98% of that quarter, but they're only up by 1. So they've got to go back to the drawing board, know exactly what they did to be successful, and start with that way in this next quarter.
8 turnovers hasn't helped. Cheryl Chambers, let's have a listen.
So Liz, you just got to get it at the top, reverse it, and then the back you send the back screen. Okay, so you'll either have Liz on the lob or you'll have you get that. If not, move the ball to the other side, okay? If you feel like you're standing there and you're looking at trying to get the ball in, just move it, we'll get it from another angle, okay? If we miss it, we miss it. Okay, here we go, play some D.
Go wide.
Outside
Flyers.
60% from the field for the Flames in that first quarter, but turning it over 8 times as well, and a couple of late turnovers just stalled that momentum, which they'd worked so hard to be able to create and build that lead.
But it seemed to be that came from Jenna Hay lifted, but Steph Blitzarves and Amy Clydesdale came in and just kind of switched that, flicked the switch, for the Flyers, which is a great luxury to have, Cheryl Chambers. If your starting guards just aren't getting it done defensively, you've got these other backup guards that come in and just bring the energy. And then you see what happens. Beck Cole comes back in, and now all of a sudden she's going with the flow and everything's picked up. So that's what we expected to see from the Flyers, and now we're going to see how they come out in this second quarter.
We heard from Cheryl Chambers. Brayden had his head into the Flames quarter-time huddle as well. What did Katrina Hippert have to say, mate?
Yeah, it was just sort of focused on their defensive transition. Thought they undid a lot of their hard work by letting the Southside Flyers get out in transition and get some easy layouts to finish that quarter. So really wanted them to execute offensively and not take those contested jump shots and turn the ball over that was leading to those easy layups, guys.
Rowe, Mansfield, Burt. Here is Mansfield right at it as she started the first quarter. She does exactly the same to kickstart the second. She's up to 10.
I love to see that, because that's the way you can really attack this Flyers. I think Beck Cole probably should have laid that one up. But that's how you can really attack the Flyers. If you come off a ball screen and Liz is that ball screen defender, you see here, Liz is just going to play drops and just keep going back, worried about where her player is. And if you've got the touch like Lauren Mansfield does on that little floater, that'll be there all night.
Rowe, Burton, Bogue, Spangmeier, Belger and Mansfield, the 5 to kickstart the second quarter for Sydney. Cole, Clydesdale, Blitzarves, both Blitzarves, Sarah and Steph, and Cambays. For the Flyers, who find themselves down 3, there's Cole in the kick out. Clydesdale for 3. Little short. Cole keeps it alive. Straight to Liz. Gets a little bump. Right on the shoulder. Definite foul. She'll go to foul line for a couple. But Cole kept that one alive.
Well, she did, and that's going to be really frustrating for Katrina Hibbert, because we saw in that first quarter, Lauren Scherf, whenever the ball went up, she just found Liz and just tried to be real physical, just try and move her out the way. Because this is what she does. She starts to get her eye in now, and she gets it in from the line. She gets those little turnarounds. She can get those fadeaways, and it can become a really long night. So as soon as that shot goes up, you've got to limit this Flyers team to one shot so you can get out and run.
Easier said than done, Pete Hawley.
Absolutely. She's one of the world's best at what she does, but we saw in the first quarter how effective Lauren Scherf was at being extra physical, but early with her physicality.
Kept alive again. You talk about clearing the defensive glass. They haven't done it off a foul shot. Cole to Clydesdale to Cambage. 2 points. We're all tied up. 9 minutes to go in the second quarter. And I mentioned off the top, of course, Pete Hawley, NBL champion, Melbourne United, and an air ball to give away the cheeseburger. I do apologise because that was an open air game, wasn't it, with the wind?
That's the second time you brought that up.
Yes or no?
No.
I was going to apologise. This Steph Blitzars.
Same state, though, so it might have something to do.
There you go, it might have it. Here's Sarah Blitzars on a little fadeaway. Can't make it work. Burton on the box out. Mansfield with the rebound. She's in attack mode. This time she pulls up. She's got 12. She's feeling it. And again, they have the lead.
She's so fun to watch. I don't know whether it is. It's just, as you see, a little foul call there, a bit over physical, but there's something about a lefty point guard, and they're just, it's almost beautiful to watch, just the way that they come off the ball screen and everything, probably because it's different to what being a right-hander, but I love the way she goes about it. When she gets in these kind of zones, then she can put points up really quickly, but we also seen how well she is finding the open man. So already up to 12 and got 4 boards herself. It's a great start from the Flames, and especially Lauren Mansfield.
Clydesdale couldn't find Cambage. Great D. Denial D by Burton. 14 on the shot clock. The Flyers 9-2. Tuning up for the playoffs. We know how important it is to finish top 2. You get the double chance when finals week comes around next week in Townsville. Here's Cole. Little running jumper, no good.
There's Maley again on the boards, but Lauren Mansfield again just coming off her player and helping out on Beck Cole to make that difficult. But that was a nice little take there. Can they settle now and start to really tick over the scoreboard?
Dragged by Belgium. Wants to take on Cambage. In the end, decided against it. Mansfield, little screen and roll. And what a bounce pass. Little no-look straight to the hands of Nat Burton. And Lauren Mansfield is dominating this game.
She is, and there's something about, I'm telling you, it's the lefty. Watching a lefty point guard in action when they're at their best is just awesome to watch. That little left pocket pass on the money. Don't take anything away from the finish. That was a really tough finish as well, but the Sydney Uni Flames have been awesome so far in this game.
Burton with a beautiful roll, and the give. She's got a ball on a string right now. There's Lauren Mansfield. That was an offensive foul on Steve Blitzars at the other end, so another turnover for Southside, and a chance for the Flame to extend the 4-point lead. Mansfield just a little eager to get going there,
and you can't blame her, because the play before, when she came off that exact same side, the little handoff, she ended up getting a nice little floater, which really got her going. So she's a little bit eager to come off and turn the corner. And as we see, as I expected, Monique Conti checking into the game, and you expect her to get all up and in. She knows that that's exactly what's going to keep her on the court and going to help try and turn the tide for Southside.
Mitchell comes back in as well. Cambage faces, now wants to go one-on-one, spins, count it! And that's the spacing that Cheryl Chambers wanted as well. Meant you got to commit or you don't commit. Lauren Mansfield half thought about it, but in the end it was one-on-one, and that's a very lonely place to be against one of the best players in the world.
Oh, well, absolutely it is, but you saw Lauren Mansfield looking to have a little dig, swipe at the ball, but Liz just holding it over her head. No one's going to get that, and as I said, she's got her eye in from the line, and now she can make those little extra plays, and she feels good about her jumper.
Cambage, that's down, 3-point play. She's in the double figures, and the lead is back to 1. Swag my Belgian guarded by Cole. Mansfield for 3. Off the iron. Maley had it for a split second, only to the hand of O'Hay, but knocked away by Bogan. They get another chance here, the Flames.
Well, credit Maley for that. Just relentless, just going at the glass and causing a bit of confusion between the Flyers. And a little bit of a switch up on defense. It looked like it was a man-to-man full court pressure, but falling back into a 2-3 zone kind of took the Sydney Uni Flames by surprise, and they didn't really get into any zone offense, but get another chance at it here thanks to really Annalie Maley.
Her time is exceptional.
For sure, as you said, she hunts every board. She gets in the right spot and just knows where that rebound's going to be and when to go up and just get it. And if she doesn't get it, she's going to cause things like that where your team gets a chance to get it back.
Burt, catch, shoot, side of the backboard. Gets her own, but it didn't hit the ring, obviously, so the shot clock winds down the one. Maley has to let it go. That's off the iron. Well, that's not off the iron. It was nothing but air. Didn't hit iron, and they gave themselves opportunities, Pete Hooley, but they couldn't capitalise.
Yeah, you see, just trying to spread the floor, get a nice corner 3, but a little Paul George action there. I think that's what they call it these days.
No doubt Paul George tuning in. Best basketball in the world right now, the Chemist Warehouse WNBL. Here is Mitchell, little pick and pop with O'Hay. Conti for 3. Again, Beck Cole kept it alive for only a split second, only to the hands of the Flames. Mansfield got Cambage on her. Wants the mismatch, go straight past her, but they were able to swarm her with O'Hay and Cambage and Cole. 3 around and the other end. Beck Cole steps out on the semi-transition.
If you're Lauren Mansfield there, I wouldn't mind letting her tee that one off from deep. She's only 1 of 2. Feeling good about herself, but I also don't mind the fact that she's trying to create something. But if you see her go one-on-one against Liz, you've got to space the floor so that if someone does collapse, she's going to find you for a wide-open 3.
Entertaining clash Thursday night hoops. Swagmire Belger has the little shot on Mitchell, little seal, but 3 seconds in the key as well. This is why, Pete, you've got to be in that situation. Get the very quick lob, or it does run the risk of this exact thing happening.
Well, she's been there twice so far this game, the exact same play, just a really smart seal, just the pass hasn't been on the money. And she's had to try and do something. One went out of bounds, and that one she had a bit of a fumble, which ended up being a 3-second call.
Lob inside to Cambage, the help from Mansfield to no avail. And the Flyers have the lead, 27-26, 5:21 to go, second quarter. And this has turned into a little bit of a dour defensive struggle after a fairly free-flowing first 10 minutes, Pete. The last 4.5 minutes have been a little bit of this grind and grind and grind, and the Flyers have been able to do it and now take the lead.
Well, both teams have made some adjustments, and we saw a couple of zone plays from both sides, switching it up between man-to-man zone, just trying to keep the teams guessing. But Cheryl Chambers, we saw, I think it was at quarter time, say that you don't have to try and force feed it into Liz. If she's there, throw it. If not, don't stand with the ball above your head. Swing it, and she'll move with you, and then if she's there, otherwise try and attack.
12 points for Lauren Mansfield in this game. Let's have a little look at how she's done it. And she has been in aggressive mode since the very start. That was a great pass to Maley. And this one was when she had the little stutter step, little herky-jerky, and throws it up with the right in the and one. And her aggression and her confidence coming out as we see her from behind the arc as well has been very fun to watch.
Well, it has, and as I said, she's come off a couple of poor shooting games by her standards, and she's looking for a match to come out like this, and no better way to do it against the side sitting on top of the ladder. And the side who right now says that they're the best defensive team in the league, she's just tore them apart. Not only just getting what she wants, she's got her eye in, knocking them down, getting a little floater, but she's just finding the open player every single time. As we see here, that's a gorgeous little no-look pass right now, which is why we've seen so many guard substitutions so far in this game by Cheryl Chambers. Every one of the guards has got in, trying to throw something else at her and see who can do something about it.
Brydens court side. Brayden.
Yeah, Katrina Hibbert bringing back Lauren Scherf after Liz was able to get some easy buckets, but expect Lauren to front the post after those early fouls rather than playing behind. And then even though Southside are in a zone here, really wanted them to go at Liz in those pick and roll or dribble handoff situations. So let's see if they can execute that after Southside got back in the lead, guys.
Got a good look, Burt. Couldn't make it fit. That time it was Cambay's leading the break. She finds Mitchell. Mansfield fouls her, and Leilani Mitchell to the foul line for a couple. And, well, this is dangerous, Pete Hawley, when Cambay's able to get the rebound and lead the break. Good luck trying to stop it.
Well, the Flyers, just 1 through 5, whoever gets it, we've seen just takes off with it. If it's Sarah Blitzarves, even Liz just gets it and goes, and they play real quick, but haven't got enough stops to really do that. But it's interesting, Brayden mentioned that Lauren Scherf now going to be fronting to try and prevent that third foul, which I think hurts the Flames, because we saw in the first couple of minutes, she was just extra physical, meeting Liz early, and it kind of frustrated her, got under her skin, and I really like the way she played like that. So now it's something different. They've got to have that help on the weak side in case there is that lob. But it all comes back to what hurts you more at the time, an unsportsmanlike foul or giving up a layup.
Well, agreed, but at the split second, you probably don't think about it like that. But also, you make a good point, there's Maley again actively. This time it's Cambay's who comes across and just got the knee to trip her. She'll go to foul line for 2. The fact is, on the unsportsmanlike, the way she was playing her physically in the first 5 or 6 minutes, there was only the one time that she was called for the foul. So it actually was working. I would go back to it and just see, look, if the referee makes the call, but there's no doubt that they were a hell of a lot more effective when she was playing that type of defense on Cambay's. And fronting her is going to be dangerous because we know how great of a interior passing team the Flyers are and how they're able to find her.
But it is, and we also saw that the big contribution that Lauren Scherf had on both ends, just in the plus-minus, just +5 right now off of the Flames. So they need to keep her out there. They can't risk an extra foul. And
they broke it pretty easy, got a good look. Cambay's good to make it fit. And now the Flyers are trying to tie it up or take the lead. Negasoglu goes baseline, got nowhere to go, guarded by Conti. This is fun. That's an offensive foul. Referee clearly wasn't watching. It gave her enough room. She was able to knock it down, and with the green light, a lot of times it ends exactly with that wonderful noise, and we're all tied at 29. Cambay's at the other end.
there she was, even still playing behind, but just couldn't be extra physical, because I'm sure in the back of her mind she's scared to give up that third foul, and then Liz makes a quick move and gets one either way. But we've just seen that little defensive intensity lift from the Flyers when Conti's come into the game, and that looked like an offensive foul, but wanted to take advantage of it.
Always good, Halls, when we talk about the fact that they should play behind Liz Cambay's, and Lauren Scherf just picks up her third foul 30 seconds later. It's Cambay's nails 3. Another big night for Liz Cambay's. 15 already on the evening. 4 minutes to go, second quarter. Here's his zone again by the Flyers. Swagmai Belzer got to attack it. Does, uses the right hand, non-preferred, can't finish it. O'Hay with the rebound. That's her second, and now it's Clydesdale who wants to push. Mitchell for 3. No good. Maley with the rebound. Been saying that all season. Will continue to. She's got 8 on the night. Mansfield just steps back on Cambay's. He said, have the shot. It was to good effect, and Clydesdale wants to push. It's 2 on 2. Got nowhere to go, but in the end, Mitchell was able to bail her out with a great little cut. Finishes with the left hand, and the lead is back to 5.
Oh, just a great job, Amy Clydesdale right there. Not getting flustered. I think she thought that she had the extra kick ahead, and then Leilani Mitchell just trailing. Another smart little layup, and right now the Flames could do something to just stem this bleeding, because the little roll that the Flyers have going can turn into a big deficit quick.
This hasn't so far been a great possession. Negasoglu can't knock the 3 down. And these are those little periods you spoke about in the first quarter. You can't have 1 or 2 minutes off against the Flyers, because all of a sudden it's a double-digit lead, all of a sudden it's 15, and you're staring at a hole even though you've played a really good first half. O'Hay, guarded by Maley. Fade away. Short. Mansfield, rebound number 6, and now they push. Got to stay confident here, the Flames. Mansfield for 3. Got it!
Just great recognition by Lauren Mansfield. You saw there, she just held the ball up and let the ball screen come. Because when she's in attack mode downhill, especially to her left, with Liz Cambay's in drops, she's either going to get a floater or Liz has to come out late. And right now, she's feeling good about herself. So even in a zone, they can get to that if they can get that ball screen and just bring Liz up a bit.
Right back at him. Cambay's leaves that one short. Good little period here for Mansfield and the Flames. Surveying the options. In the end, way too easy for Greaves. We're all tied up at 34. A nice minute here for the Flames, and we were a little worried, or I was a little worried it was going the other way with the swinging momentum, and the Flames have been able to turn it on a coin. I don't think that's a saying, but you know what I mean. Mitchell, the other end, can't finish it. It's not a saying, is it?
No, it's not.
It's not.
But again, look at the defensive physicalities picked up from the Flames, but it started on their offense because they got a couple good looks, and they did exactly what Katrina Hibbert was saying, was bring Liz into that ball screen, and Lauren Mansfield right now is going to make a great decision if she's coming off that ball screen and Liz Cambage is there. She's either going to be able to get a shot for herself or she's going to get deep enough to find someone wide open. So everyone's going to be ready to shoot.
Into the last 90 seconds. Negasoglu, there's that green light. We're right behind it. Look good off the iron, and Maley just wants it more. And this time she's able to cause a foul on the Flyers.
Well, it's not going to count as an efficient rebound, but again, you just see her just hunting, getting around, and it looked like Jenna O'Hay had a great box out. She had her on her back there, but just the relentless attitude to just go after the rebound. They're the players coaches love to have on their team because they know no matter what situation of the game, no matter what's happening, she's going to give you 100% effort at getting the rebounds.
99% of the players in the league don't get that rebound with what Jenna O'Hay just did there.
Correct. And that's just the attitude I think that Annalie Maley's adopted this year is, I'm going to lead the league in rebounds, and she just goes after everything. We see a great little defensive stop there. And
shot clock winds down. Mansfield was in the right hands. That's going to be on
again
on Pizzi, as Maley again just wanted to work on it. Referee says that Pizzi was illegally blocking her out.
It looked like it probably could have gone against Maley, but this doesn't just happen as like an accidental call. This is something that is in the referees' heads because they know and they've seen already for the first 19 minutes that she's going to the glass every single time.
Probably a no call, Pete, to be fair.
Well, it is, but that you get this 50-50 call your way because every single time the ball goes up, you're just going to go, and the referee sees it every time. So if it is a 50-50 call or a no call, you're going to get it your way more often than not because you've already set the precedence that once it goes up, I'm hunting it. So massive credit to her. She's up to 10 boards. 9 and 9, sorry. What a first half she's had.
And the last 7 points are all the Flames as they end the second quarter with the momentum. Can O'Hay stop it? No, she can't. Negasoglu with the rebound. Swagmire-Belger right at O'Hay on the spin, right to that favoured left hand. O'Hay was up to the challenge. Swagmire-Belger picked it back up. Negasoglu, green light, nothing but net.
Well, he said she's her favourite to watch, and she's come out not afraid to let him fly. Was yet to knock one down from deep until that. This is what I love to see from the Flames.
Lauren Mansfield with a great first half, 15 points. Look at the Chemist Warehouse highlights of the first 20 minutes. And Liz Cambage started well, but you talk about the aggressiveness, or she talks, Lauren Mansfield speaks about the aggressiveness and the spacing. This has led to a lot of this type of stuff and a few easy backdoor cuts and layups.
Well, she's been outstanding in just that whole half, played 19 minutes. And we see Liz Cambage has 15 points, and you kind of feel that the Flames know that she's one of the world's best at what she does. She's going to get her points, she's going to get her stats, but can we make them as hard as possible? I mean, Lauren Scherf started that, and yeah, she got going a little bit, but if you make every possession super hard for Liz and just wear her down over the game, then no one else really has a chance to get involved, and then you can put points up and really start to frustrate them, and that's what they did in those last 3 minutes.
Easier said than done, and we've spoken about the Southside Flyers, one of the superstars, Beck Cole, and how deep they are, and he was Cole. This is when the game really started to change in the second quarter. Well, that was late in the first. Cole scored the last 5 of the first quarter, and then it just started to change. The momentum come to Southside, but this is easier said than done. But when you have a player like Lauren Mansfield, as Nega Soglu was able to get open for her first points of the night, when you are the aggressor against Southside and put them a little bit on the back heel, again, easier said than done, it is a much different feel when you're taking on this team, because when you allow them to get the run, be it momentum-wise or actually on the court and semi-transition like we just see, the whole thing just goes into their spectrum on the court. But when you're the aggressor, this stuff happens. The confidence grows from everyone on the court. Next thing you know, you lead by 5 when you trail by 5. In the last, I don't think anyone saw that last 2.5 minutes coming, because Southside had the momentum, they have the depth, they had the game on their hands, and they are the better team, or have been the better team for most of the season. And Sydney Uni able to believe in it behind Lauren Mansfield, and everyone grows in confidence from there.
Well, you're exactly right, and we've seen so many times, especially in the last couple of weeks, that when teams have challenged the Flyers early, the Flyers will make a couple subs, they'll flick a switch, and then they'll roll. And we saw they got out to about 6-point lead, and normally they take that on. You're right, they build it to a 15-point, all of a sudden it's 20 points by halftime. But the Flames just put a stop to it, and then they did exactly what was no secret it was going to be, of get Liz in ball screen action. And yeah, they've said it, and I'm sure every team said it, but you can see how successful it is, because you have to bring her up, or if she drops, and you've got a point guard who can make such good decisions like that and has that touch on the floater, it can work really well. And
the fact is, too, we've touched on this a lot. When it comes to point guards, you've got to deal with Leilani Mitchell, and then when she gets subbed out, Amy Clydesdale comes in, we know how good she is, and if that's not working, you bring Mon Conti in, and all of a sudden, the whole thing... She's been able to see them all off so far, and that's a very hard thing to do. We're talking about we're talking like a superstar in Mitchell, one of the really good players in the WNBL, and Amy Clydesdale, and Monique Conti early in her career, of course, but we know the talent. And the very fact is, in 20 minutes, you've seen them all off so far, and that's a big plus. Again, easier said than done, but it works that way, and you're the aggressor. Things are a lot different out there.
Well, you can just hear her there. She's gassed because of exactly that. They're just throwing someone at her every time down the floor, and she gets a chance to catch her breath, because she knows that if they're going to win this game, she's got to produce the same, if not better, in this second half. But another unsung hero, Annalie Maley, what a first half from her.
Well, is she unsung anymore?
No, you're exactly right.
I don't think she is. I think she's almost, I'm going to say a star of the league.
She is, and you've got to give her the credit she deserves. And just an extremely intelligent player, and that's exactly why she'd be lovely to coach, but she's lovely to watch as well. She gets into the right grooves, finds some nice cuts, but this is where she's had her best. Just goes after the rebounds. You said it best, times it so well. But she has been outstanding, and again, the Sydney Uni Flames are going to win this one. It's going to be on the back of her effort and Lauren Mansfield's decision-making.
And she, of course, Southside Fire last year, part of that team that won the minor premiership and went to the grand final, and wants opportunities. We know how talented she is. She knows herself how talented she is, and she's like, you know what, I'm going to be stuck at a team at Southside that I'm probably not going to get a great deal of burn. We're going to see, of course, Blitzars or O'Hay, players who are in front of me who play for the Opals, and it's going to be hard for me to get consistent court time. So I'm going to go to Sydney, and I'm going to prove to everyone how good I am. She puts up huge numbers in the NBL 1 in 2019, and I think 15 rebounds a game in that competition. She's brought that exact endeavour, which is not surprising, to this year. And next thing you know, we're talking about her as one of, you say unsung hero, and I do agree as to why you say it, because 2 or 3 weeks ago, watching a lot of basketball as we do, we knew how talented she was. Now we're just like, she's leading the league in rebounds, and her excitement and the way she goes about it and her exuberance is a big reason as to why this Sydney Uni Flames team is finishing the year really good, because everyone's been involved or watched teams late in the season, playoffs, let's just sort of peter this out, and we're in a hub and we're in a resort and beautiful weather. But the Sydney Uni Flames are finishing a lot of this season because of how well she is playing and how fun it is to be a part of a team that she plays in.
Well, you said she's gone to the Sydney Uni Flames for opportunity, but what she's done is now made her one of the most valuable players in this league because every team needs a player like that. So all of a sudden, every team wants one of them, and then they want you because you're the best at what you do. And right now, she's showing what she gives the game. She is the best at right now. And massive credit in this first half to go up against a team that rebounds so well, defends so well. You've got 9 and 10, but her energy's been outstanding.
She had 20 boards last week. Did you and I do that game when she had 20 boards? Oh, no, I don't think you were here. She had 20 boards. She's going to get that again tonight. She's halfway there, and obviously I'm a genius when it comes to maths. 10 times 2, carry the 1, that'll be 20. She's on her way again. Liz Cambage is a superstar. Lauren Mansfield is right there as well. And those women have to play well for their teams to win. And tonight, it's what's the word I'm looking for? No exception. Thank you, Alison, out the back. It's no exception. 15, 2 and 7. Big night for Mansfield. 15, 3 and 1 for Liz Cambage. And of course, if it wasn't for the unsportsmanlike foul, Cambage might have been throwing it down on the fast break for the 750 for Lifeline that I ever promised her. But these two, we love when the stars come to play, and they've done that so far.
Well, they have, and yeah, Liz just doing what she does, and it's been a lot physical for her, a lot more physical than she'd like, but she's had to earn everything, and nothing's come easy, and that's a massive credit to the Sydney Uni Flames. But now, as we said, the job's only half done. You've got to come and bring that physicality, bring that energy from the jump, and really try and give the Southside Flyers something to think about, because I know they're only down 5, but they'll be feeling good about themselves still, because they know we can turn this around. We showed the little patch that we have. We just got to sustain it. So it's up to the Sydney Uni Flyers to come out and really go hard.
All right, we're getting close to finals week, of course, next week in the Chemist Warehouse WNBL. I think the 4 is set. Adelaide Lightning tomorrow night will probably suggest right now, and all the Lightning fans and players watching right now will believe that they can still get there. But I think the 4 is set, and the finals tickets are on sale right now. We're going to have a full house. It's going to be packed in Townsville next week, WNBL.basketball/tickets to get involved.
Mate, have you not learned anything from 2020? Anything can happen. So this could be an outstanding run from the Lightning if they can pull it together. I think Townsville, to be honest, is a little smoky to win the whole thing. So I think they'll come Townsville.
Yeah, I know.
Especially playing in front of their home fans, and the way they play, Shyla Hill, Lauren Nicholson, once they get going, they're really tough to stop. So I think they'll take care of business. But, man, you can't just guarantee anything like that.
Did I guarantee anything?
2020, mate.
Did I guarantee it?
You did on off air. I heard it.
We having off-air conversations now.
Yeah, apparently.
Brayden, save us, please, brother. What do you got for us?
Yeah, guys, so far I think the Sydney Flames have been really impressive. As I said, the last couple of games, or the last game against Perth Lynx has been the most impressive I've seen them, and they've backed it up again here tonight. Really just outworking the Southside Flyers early on. If you look at stats like the rebound count, they're a plus 13 on that as well. So the Southside Flyers will really need to address that, especially leading into these later games. They don't want to have to get any more minutes into their stars than they have to going into these final games. So it'll be interesting to see how this second half plays out, and if Sydney Uni Flames can keep up this intensity, guys.
Brayden, you can still hear us?
Yep.
Getting a little sun up there, brother. I see you, mate. Nice little colour during the day as well. You've got the best job in the world right now. You're seeing the basketball up close and personal, and then just relaxing in the day in a beautiful part of the world.
Absolutely, mate. I went to Magnetic Island the other day. It was fantastic. I came back pretty red, so it was pretty interesting. So those showers burned the next couple of days.
Beautifully done. A best job in the world. Brayden will continue to do it in the second half and beyond. Like, you're in an amazing part of not just Australia, the world. You're seeing the best basketball up close and personal. We've got the second best job in the world, you and I, Pete Hawley. Brayden and Megan Hustwaite, who, of course, doing a wonderful job as well, have the best job in the world right now.
There's worse places to hub, that's for sure. That'd be a gorgeous thing we've seen.
China.
We've seen from a lot of...
Wuhan. You're right, there is. Go on, sorry.
No, we've seen from all reports and all the photos coming out, and just the joy, it seems that all the girls up there enjoy their time off. They're all staying together. It's like that a pre-season camp rolled over with games. You get to spend so much time, and they love being around each other, and they get to do all these activities together.
I think also the very fact is, and we touched a lot on this prior to the season in the early games as well, just playing so much. And I know that it's not as easy when there's travel and logistically. I understand that in a normal season, but the very fact is that playing more and, you know, the practice session is going to be a hell of a lot strenuous when you have 4 or 5, 6 days off in between matches as well. So getting on the court and actually playing games is something I think a lot of the girls have enjoyed a hell of a lot more than full-time practice, which is sometimes what they are.
Well, most players, especially the vets, don't like practice at all, and you want those easy practices. So in a hub season like this, yeah, it's going to take a bigger toll on your bodies. But you're right, you don't really have to worry about practice at all. So that's a really positive thing for them, and that's why it's been so successful.
Great first half. Entertaining. Sydney Uni Flames do lead. They scored the last 10 points of the quarter as well, right before half-time, 39-34. Mansfield, as we did see at the half, 15-7, having a wonderful night. Annalie Maley, 9-10 in the first half. Well, down the other end, it has been led, of course, by Liz Cambage for the Flyers. She's got 15 as well. Blitzarves, that's Sarah, Mitchell, Cole, O'Hay, and Cambage. Back to the starting 5. And no Scherf, who will start the third quarter on the bench with the 3 fouls. Greaves starts on Cambage. Mitchell goes all the way to the bucket. Missed a little gimme, and who gets the rebound? Pete Hawley, but Annalie Maley.
Well, lucky rebound, because Lani Mitchell's got to be making that. When you can get that open down the lane and get that little floater, but Lauren Mansfield trying to pick up where she left off. And who else?
Big rebound, couldn't make it finish. Burton again. And you touched on this in the first half, Pete. The very fact is, it's contagious, who exuberant, who want for the ball, and they all keep crashing and giving themselves second opportunities. The Flames, again, to no avail there when it comes to a points perspective, but keeping it alive. 5-point lead. Here's Cole. Swagmai Belgium went under. Maley not happy because Burton snapped that from her. Flames nonetheless. Here is Mansfield, loses the dribble. Unforced error there. It's a jump ball.
You're exactly right, though. It is so contagious, and this is why you can be like a most valuable player on your team and do it so well and have such an outstanding career. And even if she averaged 2 points a game, which she doesn't because we know that she's so offensively talented, she can still be an MVP-type player because you see exactly what she does. She hunts rebounds and she lifts teams up, and that's why she is so valuable to the Sydney Uni Flames. And that is one of the main reasons they're up at 5 right now against what everyone is saying is the favourites to win it all.
Shot clock down to 2. Greaves had to get it up, couldn't. Great pass by Mitchell, just out of the fingertips of Cambage, who had her nice seal.
Well, it's just better defense. You see Burton, just a little bit of physicality, not too much, pass a bit overthrown, but Lauren Mansfield around there as well. We saw that in the first quarter. As soon as Liz got close to the ball, she was just hunting to see if she could come off and try and get a hand on it.
No score from either team. Nearly 2 minutes gone in the third quarter. Here's Swagmai Belger. Cole gives her a little bit of room, and she makes her pay for the first points in the third quarter. And the lead is now 8. The last 13 points, all from the hands of the Flames.
Well, Swagmai Belger just there, and they get an offensive foul call on Liz Cambage, but she had her mind made up early here. You could see just dancing with it. She knew exactly where she was going to get, just rocking her to sleep to get to the three-point line. Down the other end, you managed to get a foul called on Liz, and all of a sudden you got a chance to go up by double digits.
Swagmai Belger. Here's Mansfield, being aggressive, couldn't hook it over on the little screen and roll. Cole was right to the task, and now the Flyers will push back at the Flames. Here is Cole, tried to get to Cambage. Greaves tries to stop her getting to her spot, does so illegally. Referee blows the whistle, and the foul will be on Greaves. That will be her second.
But I like it. You see that physicality. That's where Lauren Scherf started with it, but started with more smart physicality in that early to hit her when she's coming down the floor. But she got that offensive foul before. She's going to be looking to be extra aggressive. You've got to make sure you play physical, but play smart and play with your body. Keep your hands out and just try and see as much as you can to make it every catch really difficult.
Blitzarves head down right at Burton. Couldn't finish it. Cambage too big on that occasion. Able to lay it back up. She's got 17. And that ends a 13-0 run for the Flames. Is Mansfield. 15 in the first half. Maley had 9. Tries to dump it inside to Burt. Reaching over his Blitzers, gives away the foul.
You can see the adjustment the Flyers look like they've made is they are trying to keep Liz out of that ball screen and just switching a lot of other things, 1 through 4. So you can get a Genero Hay guarding Lauren Mansfield. If she comes off the ball screen, they can just switch it rather than having to leave Liz out on an island. But that's a great take.
Great move.
Swagmeyer Belger. And that's what you've got to do when you get a mismatch, when you do manage to get Liz on you, is they're either really attack her or if she steps off, you've got to just knock it down and make her pay.
Splits a double team, uses the right hand non-preferred in the words of John Casey. And kiss it off the window. Here's Cole. 15-footer. Right back at John Mansfield. Oh, Mansfield, the other end, couldn't finish it. Burton had a finger for a split second, knocked out of court by the Flyers. Have a look at it. Talk us through this from a star.
Well, Beck Cole, she does that so well. That mid-range game, that's money. She's got a great touch around there, but was off to a slow start, had that little 5-point stretch in the second quarter when she came back on, and they're going to need her to really get going in this game. Alani Mitchell's got 8, but they need their guards to really step up and really help out the scoring load that Liz Cambage is right now carrying.
Swag by Belger. Cambage is up to it. I was about to say that's the correct call, referee, because I thought for a split second they were going to point the other way. They are doing this all without Lauren Scherf too, who's on the bench with 3 fouls. Maley couldn't get it. Knocks Steph Blitzarves down. She picks up her first of the night.
Well, they are, and Burton's done a really good job as well of just trying to be a little bit more of a physical presence. Greaves as well. And as we said, Liz is going to get hers. She just is. She's just too good, and that's why she's had the career that she has. But can you make every single one as difficult as possible over the period of the whole game?
Maley, rebound 13, but the outlet was picked. Read like a cheap novel by Mitchell. He sets up stiff Blitzars for an easy 2 the other way. Lead is back to 4. Swag by Belger at Blitzars. Blitzars right up to it. Great defensive play by Blitzarves. Shot clock's at 6. Mansfield couldn't find Burton. Cole had her hands on it for a split second.
And that's about Lauren Mansfield coming off that ball screen we see right here, and Burton just slipped out of it. She's got to try and recognise that Liz is now going to stay with you. Pull it back out, get that ball on a string, dance it a little bit, and just try and make Liz have to stay in front. And then the rest of your team know that if you've got Liz on an island, that they're going to have to stay ready because they're going to get the ball when someone else has to come off to help.
Shot clock's at 14. Mansfield takes a seat. Nagasoglu comes on. His swag by Belger right at Cambage. Got her in the air, went the other way, couldn't finish it. Blitzar's rebound number 4. Cambage deep inside, that'll count. Great pass, Beck Cole. There was a double team, maybe a triple. There was definitely a foul. And there's almost certainly a 3-point play coming the way of the Flyers.
There's nothing you can do when you let her get that deep, and when they haven't had a couple of good passes go into her, but when she makes the effort to just seal down there, the pass is on the money, there's just nothing you can do. So you've got to do that work early. As soon as she crosses into that 3-point line, free throw line area, you just got to start hitting her slowly just to try and make it a slower seal. But down the other end, Swagmeyer Belger, I love that take, but someone has to move for her because the defense kind of collapsed, and then you just have to try and go up and force something over Liz.
What Lauren Scherf was doing really well was beating her to the spot where Cambage wanted to get to and was incredibly physical about it. You can't be reactive to Liz. You have to be able to, at different times, get a little bit of luck. And Lauren Scherf was able to do that early. And unfortunately, we haven't seen much of her because of fouls. She still sits on the bench with 3, but they're doing a hell of a good job right now containing everyone else, even though Cambage has 19. Cole, guarded by Rowe. To the bucket, takes the bump. Gets it on the rim. We'll go to foul line for the cut.
Again, great take by Ben Cole. The play was designed to get it into Liz, but the defense by Greaves, and you can see Liz a bit frustrated, but that's the physicality you've got to bring, and that's the way you've got to try and do it. You do nothing illegal or nothing dirty. You've just got to keep that physical body on her all the time. You can't let her run to a place untouched, because as soon as she gets to a spot where she's comfortable with, there is nothing you can do one-on-one to stop her. She's just too good. So do your work early and do it often, and then if she makes a tough one, you just live with it.
Leaders back to 2. Clydesdale back on for the Flyers. Maley. 9 points, 14 rebounds on the night. Here's Nogasoglu. Rowe guarded by Cole. Shot clock's down to 7. They've got to stay aggressive here, the Flames. Gonna have to get it on the rim. Nogasoglu.
Well,
Left hand dribble, nothing but net. Leaders back to 3.
He's spoken into existence pretty much from that pre-game, saying that she does have the green light. Came out, was 0 for 4, and then hit her last 2.
She's got the double green, Pete Hawley, I'm telling you. She's got the double green. As Cam Bayes is able to play through the contact and nail it. She's up to 21.
And that's the one, Greaves, right there. You just tip your hat to her and there's, oh.
Look at that green light again, all the way to the bucket. Uses the left hand, she's got 10. Brydens courtside. Brayden, talk to me as Blitzars was able to, again, go the other way and get the lead back to 1 rather. Brayden, what do you got for us?
Yeah, guys, Lauren Scherf still sitting, obviously, with those 3 fouls. And like you guys have said, she's been really impressive before she had to sit down. The lead was out to 8 a couple of minutes ago. Now it's back to 1. When do you think you risk her, Pete, in this third quarter?
Well, right now, Liz is rolling. She's up to 21 and 8. But I kind of like the energy and the physicality that Greaves has given right now. And she's sitting on 2 fouls. So you'll probably give her another 1 or 2 just to try and keep that physicality going. And the shot she hit before, you tip your hat to her and say, that's a tough shot, Liz. But you want to get Lauren Scherf rolling a little bit, just get her back into the momentum of the game before this 4th quarter. So I would think it would come in the next 30 seconds to a minute, I'll say.
I reckon she's coming on now. Nogasoglu, left-hand dribble, nothing but net. Able to knock that down, and here, the little hesitation all the way to the bucket with the left hand.
I've been stitched up by Brayden. I reckon he's seen her at the scorer's desk.
Don't blame Brayden because he's smarter than you, Pete Hawley. 1 point lead for the Flames. Oh, no. Oh, offensive foul. It looked like it might have been on Scherf. What? Referee disagreed. Liz Cambay's thought about the old volleyball spike very smartly, because she's now got 3 fouls.
But it's right there, right in front of the little left arm hook, but it's right in front of the referee. That's the problem, was you can get away with that, but as soon as the referee sees your arm around, they're getting called that. It's just the way it is, and that comes with the physicality of the way they've been playing. And it started with Greaves, and
Nogasoglu to the foul line. Brayden, your courtside, what just happened there?
Yeah, she gave the ref a bit of lip and then slapped her hands at him, so gets the tech foul, and I think that's her 4th, and she's walked over to the change rooms as well. So a bit of momentum changer here for the Sydney Uni Flames, you think, with Liz out of the game?
Deserve a tech foul, Brayden. I err on the side. I'm always on the player's side. I think that passion is something.
Oh my goodness!
What a move by
goodness!
Was it deserve a tech foul though?
Yeah, I believe so. It was directly at the ref and right next to him, and has been sort of lippy the last couple of fouls, so I probably would have called that.
Thank you. 4-point lead. Momentum has swung again. Lauren Scherf straight in. Breaks the ankles of Sarah Blitzars. Maley with her 16th rebound.
You're trying to have your little D&M over there. What an outstanding move. I can't wait to see the replay. Lauren Scherf sat for 10 or so, 20 minutes, including the break, and comes out and gives us one of those.
Nogasoglu, Scherf for 3. Cole with the rebound. Wasn't exactly a D&M, Pete. I was trying to find out if Liz Cambay's deserved her tech. Away with a little Euro step. through the defenders. There is Liz Gambay. She's back from the change rooms. The lead is back to do. O'Hay's got 8. And we are watching a hell of a great basketball game.
Well, Jen O'Hay did this in the first half, midway through the second quarter when the Flames went on a run. She's that kind of leader, just step up and do something on both ends. Great bucket there, and well, what a great
take. Too easy. All tied up at 52 again. This is a fun night of ball. Here is Scherf. Little dump inside to Nagasaki. A great pass to Maley. She's able to make it count. She's now got a double-double. 11 points to go with 16 rebounds. We are set for a great last 10 minutes. Here's Cole. Hesitation too easy in the end as the Red Sea parts. She gets all the way to the bucket. Beck Cole's good night continues. She's up to 11 as well.
She's been great since she had got pulled off in that first quarter. Just flicked a switch and in attack mode, which is what they need down the other end.
Couldn't quite get it inside. Rowe loses it as well. And the Flyers with a chance to break the deadlock with a minute to go in the third quarter. Blitzers right at Maley. Did enough too. Blitzers was the last hand to touch it. Here we go.
Oh my.
Whoop.
But again, that's hard to do at the best of times. When you've been sitting for 20 minutes, to come out there and just get it and face up in the post and give a nice little shake and finish. But this is where the Flyers, with losing 4 fouls, have to try and take advantage of, especially when it comes to the start of this fourth quarter. Just string stops together and don't go away from don't change offensively because you're having so much success with it.
Swag by Belger. Her second 3 of the quarter. They're full of confidence, the Flames. She's got 10. They lead by 3. O'Haya Bow gets all the way to the bucket. Couldn't make it go. Swagmire Belger with the rebound, and the last shot should be the Sydney Uni Flames. Mansfield surveys the options. Met by Mitchell, goes off the Burton screen. Now she's got Blitzarves on the mismatch. Maley, 3, got it! Doubles the lead, it's 6 with 10 minutes to go. And the Flames again, just like they did in the second quarter, end with the momentum. Talk us through this, Pete Hawley.
She has been incredible tonight. She's got 14 points and 16 rebounds, and she's probably unlucky not to already have 20 boards because a couple of her teammates have been snatching them from her. But she's just set a tone, and every time they needed an energy lift, she's been the one to give it. Lauren Mansfield's having a blinder as well. She's up to 15, 7 and 4. Nice couple of dimes as well. But Annalyn Maley, take a bow. What a game that she is having. But we'll talk on the flip side. I know a lot of talk's going to be about that technical foul as we listen to Katrina Hibbert right here.
Looking to take our bigger posts one-on-one at the rim. All right, so again, what's the shooting? What's the stats? So they're not killing us from outside, they're killing us from inside. So you got to keep working, moving your feet, wall up, and see if you can't take a charge. They're not passing. Right? 1 for 16. Okay, 1 for 16. All right, so we're going to stay with this lineup unless it's something you like. That's okay, you can take it. All right, what's working for us right now? Offensively. Yeah, Horn's elbow. Okay, so Horn's elbow, we dribble off the shooter, we set the flare and curl, so try and chase that flare a little bit more. So when she curls, she gets her head under the basket. All right, remember the other big 4-man, or at this stage it doesn't really matter. All right, you set the pin down, other person's in the corner, and then we get that. If there's no shot there, then you can come back and set non-ball, you guys play out of it. You might be able to post up if they switch. All right, so that's working. Execution's working, ladies. Hey, 5-minute games. Let's even go 3 minutes. All right, here we go. Lock down defensively. Here we go. Execution. Hey, want the ball more than we talk about.
You said they're just trying to get hungry and who wants it more, but we're going to talk about firstly the offensive foul with Liz Cambage, and you don't think it's a great call. Obviously the hook is going to be called at some stage, but you can't let it frustrate you. I know it is frustrating, and we'd never know the position that she's in to be that kind of dominant force in a league like this where she's expected to come in, she's expected to be a superstar, and she's had things go against her in nearly every game, but
you got to give credit to the way the Sydney Uni Flames started with their physicality, and it was just smart physicality, trying to be anywhere she was, just putting the body on it, and that leads to those kind of little plays.
I'm not saying to the letter of law the foul wasn't there, but I think we see that thing happen 20 times a game. And I think that's where the frustration sometimes gets you. Oh, hey, kick out. Cole turns it down. Referee says travel. And that's where the frustration, I think, sits. I let it to the law. She did probably hook. She didn't have the ball. But I also look at that as two players fighting and being physical for the position, which we've probably seen 20 times tonight. I think that's where the frustration...
No doubt. And you can, as you said, it's one of those flip-a-coin fouls because it is right in front of the referee. But what you can't do is you just can't double down on it with a tech, because not only does that send them to line for 2, but that gives her 4 fouls and it gives the Flames this little bit of momentum.
Mansfield. Here's Burton. 6-point lead for the Flames. Kickstart the 4th quarter. Oh, great move. Looked one way, raised an eyebrow, stepped the other, kisses it off the window. And the last 8 points, bridging the end of the 3rd and the start of the 4th, all for the Sydney Uni Flames. Cole. Oh, beautiful move. Takes the bump, couldn't make it work. Little hesitation. Let's have a look at this. Oh, come on, Pete Hawley.
I'm with you, I understand, but I'm saying as soon as that arm goes around, it just gives that 50-50 a chance to be called.
I'll agree with you about the tech foul and compounding it, but I also understand the frustration at that point.
Oh, no doubt. But the thing is, if she has both hands up, then there's no foul that can be called. As soon as she does it, it gives that 50-50 chance to the referees to call it. The simple way is to be able to put your hands up and not do it, but that's the way that the physicality from the Flames is. She needs to do that little bit more to try and get to the spots where normally she can just walk to. So you've got to give credit to both sides there, but it is a 50-50 call. Now, you want me to admit that it's definitely a no?
No.
It's a 50-50.
50-50, you've softened on it, I'll give you that. All right, Ben Cole makes the 2nd. Mansfield couldn't finish it. And this is what we spoke about. This is what Adelie Maley and what she does gives the rest of her team. They wanted it more. Mansfield, can they capitalise? That's short. Burton! The referee says we'll stop for a split second and wipe up all the sweat. Players diving on the ball.
Look, I'm going to take it was on Sunday where I went through the 3 players that have caught my eye most this season I was most impressed with, and Adelie Maley was one of them. But it's the contagious effort of the team. Look at them, there's 3 of them in there just crashing the glass, and they get it back again. They're diving on the floor. And this literally all does stem from one player's energy.
Seven-point lead for the Flames. Look at that. Smacking the Flyers 41-22, plus 19 on the boards is a monstrous effort. Their opportunity. The only thing here, and they've been great in the offensive ball, only got the 7 second chance points on the night. So they've left some points really on the rim for all their hard work.
Well, they have, and that's why I said that they should be a little bit further in front and a couple of plays that you live with. But that's what does happen. When the Flyers have got such a talent like Liz Cambage out there, they can be able to throw it to her in those positions where she's going to get easy buckets. But anytime you play the Flyers, you can't let that discourage you. We've seen it so many times, especially over the last couple of weeks. It happens, Liz might score 5 in a row and teams get a little deflated of they keep throwing it up to her. The Flames said, whatever, we'll just do the same down the other end, and then we'll just keep being physical. Eventually you'll miss one, and then we just see what happens from there. So just a great game plan right now in Katrina Hibbert, perfectly executed by the Sydney Uni Flames.
Shot clock down to 7. Swagmire Belger has to get the work on Mitchell. Runs out to the double team. Finds Burton somehow. Couldn't finish it. O'Hay with the rebound, as she does so often there when her team needs it. Blizzards all the way to the bucket. Gets the slap on the way. Finishes it with the finger roll. 3-point opportunity.
She's been unusually quiet tonight. She's having an outstanding season. One of the most important players to their roster. That's her 4th point. She's only had 6 field goal attempts, 4 rebounds, 5 turnovers, which is very uncharacteristic of her. So look for her to try and really step up in this 4th quarter to help the Flyers try and win this one.
Misses the back end of the 3-point play. Mansfield. 10 on the shot clock. Swagmo Belgium needs to get to work on blitzers. No easy task. Burton, now it's Mansfield. What a night she's had. Inside to Burton, step through without a dribble. I think that's called a travel normally. This time it's not. Doesn't matter, it's a turnover nonetheless. Brayden, courtside, what do you got?
Yeah, Cheryl Chambers would be really happy with the last couple of possessions. The focus of her three-quarter time break was really ball movement offensively. Thought they got really stagnant, which allowed Sydney to make that late quarter run. And then defense, and just imploring her team to put as many 3 stops in a row sort of sets together as they can. So these last couple of possessions, they've really been dialed into those 2 points from Cheryl Chambers.
Thank you, Brayden. 5-point Sydney Uni Flames lead. Hold up. Reset a little of the clock. A little bit of blood on the floor. There we go. Tell you what, you said earlier about extraordinary things in 2020, and the very fact is that as we head towards the playoffs, nothing's set in stone, Pete Julia. Must say that the team that finishes first, or the teams that finishes first or second who win that first final, goes a long way to be able to do it. Not to say that the team can't get on a run, but this is why this tonight is such a big for Southside Flyers. Not to suggest that even a loss tonight means they won't finish top 2, but the fact is if they finish in the top 2 and win that first game, it goes a long way to being able to help them, because you get that little bit of day extra break without having to fight through elimination games. I think it's going to help getting straight into a grand final.
Oh, it is, and this is the credit to the Sydney Uni Flames. With finals not in reach, you can spoil a party. And the Flyers would hate to be able to fall out of that top 3 because they don't have a split over the Caps and the Boomers, which is going to be a real crucial thing. So if they happen to finish 3rd, then all of a sudden that has that little bit of pressure on their mind of they are the favourites. They're the clear favourites pre-season, and that's with the talent and roster they have. If they finish 3rd and it's one and done, then you don't have that little safety net. So massive credit to the Flames for coming out and bringing this challenge. But the Flyers, you're right now, they've got to try and turn this thing around, because not only that, to be finishing in a different position than first, you want to be playing your best basketball consistently leading into finals. In a season like this, that is exactly what you need to be doing. Which we thought they were doing. Now, this is what we do probably too often in sports, is we refuse to give, or we sort of just brush over the credit to the other team. And you mentioned it only moments ago. Sydney Uni Flames came here with a game plan, and they have so far executed it brilliantly. The very fact is that we did think Southside Flyers were playing their best basketball, in particular defensively, and that swarming defense that they've been getting going. And this, I think, is a credit again to the Chemist Warehouse WNBL. It's no easy nights. And if you don't, for whatever reason, bring your A game, or the other team are like, hey, you know what? We know what we can do. We're playing to our strengths. There's no doubt the Flames are a better team now than they were 1 week ago, 2 weeks ago, and 3 weeks ago at the start of the season. So it is great to see and refreshing to see a team have this much excitement and wants and desire late in the season, knowing that a playoff spot isn't there. And what's really important is that every other team right now who's going to potentially be facing the Flyers in the last round or in the finals is watching this game and trying to pick out pieces that they can put in their own matchup. Because as you said, you've only got to catch the Flyers in a position like this once if it means sending them home. Cole, what's the take on Maley? Goes a great D by Bogan, the double team. Shot clock's at 8. Oh, hey. Couldn't kick it out to Cole. Swagmo Belger up to it. Now they're going to run. Boat leaks out. Couldn't finish it. Great D by Clydesdale. Did enough to get it off the rim. And now it's the Flyers the other way. They can hurt you like this. Oh, hey, great lob by Mitchell. Up to the task, though, was Mansfield. And now we're running. Burton. Swagmo Belger. Reverse layup. Right hand. The lead is 7. Just outstanding team defense from the Sydney Uni Flames, causing 2 turnovers there, and Mansfield got the hands in, but watch Annalie Maley over here just coming across to help, and Lauren Mansfield, great timing with her hands, and it was Maley the possession before as well, just stepping up, putting her body on the line, causing Beck Cole to have a turnover. as we said, I'd seen since that loss to the Caps from the Flyers, they've flicked a switch on both sides. But as we said, the game plan that they've had offensively, they've executed, and defensively, they've done exactly what they've needed to.
Mitchell, O'Hay. One superstar to another. That's down the bottom of the well, and it's back to a 4-point lead. O'Hay has 11.
Well, it's been her and Beck Cole with big plays to really kind of stem the bleeding at massive points in this game, and started one in the second quarter, one in the third, and then just there. And what a pass. And again, we talked about it, the ball movement there, but Annalie Maley just finds herself in the right spot at the right time.
What a night for Annalie Maley. 16 points, 16 rebounds. Now Mitchell's starting to warm to it as well. She's up to 11, and the lead is 3. What a fun night. What a game. Chemist Warehouse WNBL, wherever you might be, don't go anywhere. A monstrous 6 minutes ahead. Swagmai Bell's a great handoff to Maley, just gets bumped by Jenna O'Hay, who probably didn't do a great deal wrong. Maley had the momentum, but a definite foul in the end.
Yeah, just a little bit out of position because she wasn't who she was guarding.
Yeah.
But this is where the Sydney Uni Flames, you might seem like, yeah, Liz is off the floor, they can just score wherever they want, but it changes the way the Flyers now defend. Now they're switching everything on the floor, 1 through 5, anyone can guard anyone. So whatever offense you had planned for when Liz is on the floor, you have to change right now on the fly to what else is going to be successful against this Flyers unit.
Swagmai Belcher.
That'll help.
A little fade away with the lefty. 5-point lead, and every time the Flyers tonight have challenged, the Flames have been up to it. Mitchell just hit a 3, couldn't hit the little jumper. Maley just wants it more. 17 rebounds for Annalie Maley. That's to go with 16 points. Mansfield, Burton, Bow, Swagmai, Belger. Couldn't get the run. Maley keeps it alive, straight to Bow. She couldn't finish it. Maley again. Bow for 3. No, Maley's just grabbed by Blitzarves.
Incredible. It is absolutely incredible. And if she's in the NBA, she's credited for both of those offensive rebounds because their controlled tips out. At least the second one was. But just the relentless effort. And we sound like a broken record. We really do all night. But
She stops getting rebounds and hustle plays. We'll stop talking about it.
look at it. There's 2 of them there. Controlled tips out, which should be going towards a tally. They won't. But then again, right here, just forces Sarah Blitzarves to be a lot more physical because she's just been everywhere. What is she up to? She's up to 33 minutes. Well and truly gassed because she is just going after every single board. And which is no surprise why Cheryl Chambers said, we need to get someone in there to clean up this glass.
Cam Bays with 4 fouls re-enters the game. Swagmai Belger, shot clock down to 10, guarded by Cole. 5-point lead for the Flames. Splits the double team all the way to the bucket. Did lose it. Cam Bays was great with the hand from behind. Shot clock at 4. Flames need to get to work. They will. Belcher just hit one. A second to go from that exact spot. This is no good. Blitzarves with the rebound. That's her 6th of the night. Cam Bays, triple team. Blitzarves. Back to Cam Bays. Is that going to count? No, it is not.
You see Jenna O'Hay, that's the kind of leader she's just going in there trying to settle the ship because there was triple teamed right there. And again, if you grieve, you seem a little hard done by, but you just don't worry about it. You say, all right, no worries, and I'm going to keep doing the same thing. You can't let a couple little calls here or there change what you've had a lot of success with that physicality throughout this whole game.
5-point lead for the Flames, 4:51 to go, 4th quarter. Chemist Warehouse WNBL. Cam Bays again, there's a double team from Burton. Who can they find open? It was O'Hay for a split second, but she stood on the sideline. And Pete Hawley, a man that we know well from working, and of course a legend of Australian basketball, Shane Heal, right now is cringing. His pet hate is standing on the sideline.
Well, it's happened twice. Beck Cole did it in the first half, but again, that's just what the Sydney Uni Flames are doing. They're speeding them up, taking them out of everything and helping each other out. And then Lauren Mansfield, we're talking about Annalie Maley's game. Lauren Mansfield started it, and she has just had an absolute blinder.
18 points for Mansfield, her first in the second half, her first points. Cambays couldn't finish it. That'll be a foul on Mitchell. Nice one to stop the play. Brydens courtside. Brayden, what do you got?
Yeah, I think the thing you're seeing with that Southside Flyers offense, when those Sydney Uni Flames are doubling and triple teaming Liz in the post, there's no real action on the weak side, so they're allowed to sort of sit in there, help on Liz, and then rotate to the shooters. And as we saw just then, it turned into a turnover. So not much man movement from the Southside Flyers to allow Liz that space to go one-on-one, guys.
Brayden Heselhurst, thank you. Baseline Swagmire Belger surrounded by Flyers defense, and they did it well.
Just really nice timing. This is what she can do. You come across and you might seem like you get a little gap to get it up, but she's just going to be too big and too strong in those situations. But he's right. They are throwing random triple teams, random double teams at her. But what it's doing is it is just taking the Flyers out of what they want to do. And Greaves, that'll be her fourth foul. Another little hold, but she's doing her job. Greaves has come in and done her job. She's been physical. You're going to pick up a couple fouls here and there, but then you know that you've got one more foul to go. Then Lauren Scherf can come back in and try and do the same thing, but you can't be disappointed with it. You can't be frustrated that, oh, you've given up one foul there and one foul there, because over the course of the game, it has worked.
Blitzers for three. Got it. Quiet night by her standards. She hits that, though. She's got 7. And the lead is back to 5. Maley to reply. Does exactly that. 19 for Annalie Maley. 17 rebounds. The lead is 8. 3.5 minutes to go. Mitchell. Blitzer, same spot. Different result. Long rebound. Mansfield runs it down. Taps it to Swagmire Belger. All the run with the Flames and all the momentum. What can they do? She just pulls up for 3. For a split second, I thought that was now.
I've had a comment that I'm sitting on, and I've got to wait till at least the end of the game. Hopefully I get a chance to say it, but what a performance.
Well, you're going to have to say it at some point.
Oh, I will.
Suggested the comments there.
I will. It's game dependent, mate. This game's still in the balance.
It is. It is. Maley couldn't get it. Has she done enough to cause a turnover? No. Flyers, 3-on-1. Cole gets a little bump. Referee said it was okay. She's able to make it work.
Well, it was Beck Cole and Jenna O'Hay who have really just come up with some big buckets and some big times. Sarah Blitzharv's hit a couple in this quarter as well, and they've needed that because Liz has got 21 and 5, but as we said, she's going to get what she gets. She's just too good of a talent. But they've made it work for every single one of those points and every single one of those rebounds, which is a massive tick to the game plan. You pretty much got to go into a game like that saying, if she has 20 and 5, we live with that because we're happy to give her that. If it's a really hard 20 and 5 that she has to get, she gets a couple of fouls, a little frustrated, that's a huge tick, but oh my goodness. Well, we talked about her game the other night. 2 of 11, didn't hit a 3, only 4 points, had 4 fouls. She has been unbelievable tonight. 18 points, 3 of 7, 21 points, 4 of 8 from downtown. And you look shocked.
15 points in the first half. She was brilliant. She set the tone. She was the aggressor, and she spoke at half-time of how well they've spaced the floor. And the reason I'm a little shocked right now is not that Sydney are winning, although I did expect Southside coming in. It's the way they have handled every single thing the Southside have thrown at them. Every single time, as we have a listen into the Flames timeout, every time the Flyers have come, the Flames have handled it with the absolute class to which they lead by 9 points.
You're exactly right, and that's what, especially since the turning point of the season for the Flyers was when they got whooped by Canberra Capitals, and not just on a scoreboard, the way that they lost. They were all over the place offensively. Their defense just wasn't up to scratch, and on the other side, Canberra's defensive physicality was huge. And since then, we've seen the Flyers just come out, have that role clarity and dominate games and have those little runs the team just haven't caught up with. Teams haven't made adjustments on the fly, unlike tonight. In that second quarter, the Flyers had that momentum going. We've seen a lot of games these last 2 weeks where other teams have just folded and then it was a 20-point game. The Flames just stuck with it or made little adjustments, and that's why they're in this position right now.
Long way to go. Here's Cam Bayes inside again to triple team. Mansfield comes over. Might be on Mansfield. On the reach. Her third in the night. Cam Bayes to the line. 21 points, 5 rebounds for the superstar. That one's down. Long. Maley, Blitzar's out, works her this time. That's rare from anyone. Cam Bayes, they kept it alive. As we look, referees will confer. It'll stay, I think, with Southside.
And Sarah Blitzar's, big credit to her, just giving Emily Maley a bit of a taste of her own medicine and really hunting down the glass. I'm not sure about that one.
I think it might have just been tipped. The referee thinks it anyway, but either way, it is a Flyers ball. Blitzar's been big in the fourth. That's no different. Nails her second three of the quarter. The lead is back to 5. She started the second chance opportunity by keeping it alive off of Cam Bayes' free throw miss.
But I've talked about her role in this team. I think she is the engine room for the Flyers, because when she's going, she just fills the stat sheet, and she's just so good at what she does in every little aspect. And she was really quiet for 3 quarters, but has come up, hit some big shots at some big times, and made some big defensive plays as well.
Get a stop here. If we get a layup, let's take the layup. If not, we're going to go boring on shoulder. Does everyone know shoulder now? It seems like bucking it up in the first half, okay? Okay, a stop and a score. A stop and a score, everything's fine, okay? But we have to get this stop. All right, here we go.
Let's go, ladies!
Southside
Flyers!
Now, man, Braden Heselhurst, you see him in the background there. What is the mood and the chatter coming out of the Flames? Timeout there, 2:26 to go, 5-point lead, Braden.
Yeah, still pretty relaxed and confident from Katrina Hibbert. Just really wanted the team to focus on making sure they get the boards and not allowing Southside Flyers any second chance opportunities. And like they've done for most of this game and what's worked for them, expect them to play through Schwagmeyer Belger and Lauren Mansfield either in dribble handoff or on-ball situations, guys.
They've been brilliant all night, the Flames, every time they've been challenged. Here's another opportunity as we get towards the 2-minute mark of the fourth quarter. Mansfield, 21 on the night. She's going to have to get busy again. Crushes over Cam Bayes. Gets in. Little floater, no good. Cam Bayes with the rebound. Falls to Blitzarves. But now a chance for the Flyers. Top of the table. Cam Bayes. Double team. But she's able to spin away from it. Mansfield went away from the double team. And in the end, it was a little too easy. Cam Bayes now up to 24. The lead is 3.
Well, she's in the right spot, Mansfield. See Schwagmeyer Belger go. Just went at the absolute worst time possible. But as we said, we've seen them get challenged so many times in this game, and they've responded. Right now, the Flyers are doing what we know they can do. And they've just put up, get in the right spots at the right times, and they'll come up with some big stops.
Scherf back in. Haven't seen much of her due to foul trouble tonight.
Only played 8 minutes.
She was great early on. 3-point lead, under 90 seconds. Flyers, little bump, it comes out. Mansfield, Cam Bayes was down, it's a 4-on-5. Scherf, Bailey open, can't make him pay. Cole with the rebound. Schwagmeyer Belger just takes it away. This is remarkable. The Flames, again, another opportunity. How they only having 7 second chance points on the night from the Flames is big. Who wants it? Burton. Oh, hey. O'Hain jumps up, a little tender. Mansfield did enough. Cambays was up to the task. Swagmo, Belger, Blitzars, Burton. Possession arrow. What a game, Pete Hawley. What a night it has been. A game that when we got here tonight, we thought the Flyers and the way the ladder positions and the play has been the last, in particular from the Flyers the last couple of games, not an easy win, but one we thought we wouldn't be getting to the last 47 seconds, and the Flyers are the ones that have to play from behind.
Look, we've seen a lot of great performances this year, and I know I said I was going to wait, but I think as a team, though, as for the Flames, this has definitely been one of the best team performances, because you think about how important this game still was to the Flyers. We talk about the momentum that had to go rolling into finals, but they still want to finish top 2. So the Flames have come out there and just challenged them. Every time that the Flyers have just seemed to have just flicked momentum, the Flames have responded well, which we haven't seen so far this season in a game back and forth with Southside. But Annalie Maley, I think, is just delivering one of the best individual performances we have seen this season. We've seen a 35-point game, we've seen 33-point games, but what she's done on the glass, she has 17 boards, should really probably have around 22, 23, has 19 points to go along with it, but what she's given her team as well, I think this is one of the most outstanding performances we've seen this year.
Brayden is courtside. Brayden.
Yeah, the focus from Katrina Hibbert just on guarding that back pick, that back screen action from Southside Flyers. Liz able to get a couple of open layouts. Unfortunately, missed the last one. So that was the focus there from Katrina Hibbert as Leilani Mitchell streaks away here.
Turn it over, crucially. Mitchell was able to creep it over the rim. And it's back to 1. And set the tone at one end of the court. She's got 21 to go, 7 boards and 4 assists. While for the Flyers, Cambays has 24. Blitzar's up to 10, Cole with 14 and Mitchell with 13. And now with 40 seconds to go, and none the wiser who's going to get the win tonight. Maley, Scherf, Mansfield, shot clock's at 4, got to get to it. Inside the Scherf, got to get it on the rim. No good. And now the Flyers, who have the last 8 points of the game, a chance with only a second difference between the shot and game clock to take the lead and steal the win. Mitchell, Blitzars, already has 2 in the corner. Make that 3 3-pointers to end the game in the last 11. Now for Southside, and they have the lead for the first time in a long time.
Well, I talked about how important she is to the Flyers. I think she's the MVP of that team because of everything she does. We know what we're going to get from Liz. We know what we're going to get from these others, but it was so quiet for the first 3 quarters and nothing fazed her, and she's come in and gone whack, 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 and right now put them in the driver's seat, because for a lot of different times in this 4th quarter, it looked like this game was possibly out of reach for the Flyers, but they stuck with it, which is why they are going to be in that conversation and win this title.
The last 11 for the Flyers, they lead by 2 points. You can see it there, 6.5 seconds on the clock. Pete Hawley, where do the Sydney Uni Flames go to? How do they do this?
Well, it looked like what they were trying to do in the last couple of plays down was get Lauren Mansfield in that ball screen, bring Liz in, and let her try and isolate off the top. But I wouldn't mind seeing if they can try and emulate a play that the Lightning tried to pull off against the Lynx the other night. A little fake handoff, maybe
from a Schwagmeyer, Belger or a Burton looking like they're going to hand off to Lauren Mansfield and then keep it, and you might get a wide open layup. Worked really well for the Lightning. Unfortunately, Steph Tower was a little bit late, but I'd like to see a similar type play here because the Flyers have seemed to have broken up a little bit of that high ball screen.
It's on your screen, 6.5 seconds, 2 points. What do they go? Maley to inbound. Scherf back to Maley. Tries to attack the rim, loses it, out of the court. Steph Blitzars with the defense. And now the Flyers ball with 3 seconds to go with a 2-point lead.
It was great hands. Initially looked like by Leilani Mitchell, and then we'll have another look here. Just getting a hand in, getting a little bit of a touch, and then Steph Blitzars as well. Just coming up with big plays at big times, and that's what it comes down to. In a season like this, you're always going to win ugly. In a compacted season, you're never going to play your best basketball every single night because there's just so many games, and can you win ugly? And right now, they're on the cusp of winning an ugly game, and to be honest, for nearly 80% of it, the Flames have been a better team.
79-73, it's the Flyers by 2 points. Blitzar's huge in the second half. She's up to 13, including what could be right now the go-ahead bucket. Cambasia 24. But the Stars have stood up in the fourth quarter, no doubt about it. Leilani Mitchell as well up to 13, and now they give themselves an opportunity to not only beat the Flames, but stay atop the Chemist Warehouse WNBL ladder by winning their 10th game of the season. And get that all-important double chance. Steph Blitzarves to inbound. Looking. Now they give it in. There's the foul that had to be given. And Leilani Mitchell can go to the foul line and ice this one.
4-4 from the line tonight, one of the best shooters on your team, so really smart play, just try and get into her. You see that they had all their best free throw shooters just loaded up, just had to get it to one of them. But can she put this game out of reach?
First one's good. Last 12 points for the Flyers. Make that 13, and that will be the game with 1.9. Burton, Mitchell, hand. It is over. Mansfield, he's one at the bucket. It doesn't matter either way, and a big night for Lauren Mansfield's to no avail when it comes to the Southside Flyers' 10th win of the season, 81-77. And Pete Hawley, you said it correctly. Sometimes you got to win ugly. Flames, full credit to them because they didn't play their best tonight, the Flyers, but in the end, they get that all-important win.
They do, and you're right. This was a super important game for the Flyers. They had to win this game no matter what. Ideally, they would have loved to have played a lot better, but most importantly, they just had to get that win, try and stay at top, keep that double chance alive, and as you said, full credit to the Flames. I thought they were excellent for most of that game. Just a couple of crucial plays here and there, which is what it's going to come down to when you play the Southside Flyers. 24
points for Liz Cambay. She was good. Sarah Blitzars, who's going to join Brayden very shortly. In fact, might join Brayden right now. The go-ahead bucket, Sarah Blitzars shoots fourth quarter. Brayden, take it away.
Sarah, a couple of big threes in that last quarter, including the game winner. Talk us through that last shot.
I swear I'm still shaking right now. It should never have come down to that. Credit to Sydney. They played very tough tonight and we couldn't find anything that worked. So luckily we got over the line and got the win.
How big is it to have that gritty win, as you said, especially leading into the finals next week?
It's challenging for us and we need that tough kind of style of play before leading into the finals. It gives us something to work on and something to look at for the future. So good by them. We're probably not very happy tonight, but like I said, we can work on things now.
What are some of the things you guys need to improve on, especially ahead of the game against Canberra on Sunday and the finals?
Yeah, I think ball movement's huge for us. We're still getting better at that. Obviously boxing out, rebounding and learning how to win, coming down to the final minutes just then and actually getting over the line.
And thoughts on the Canberra matchup again? You guys matched up with them a lot of times, obviously. Rematch of last year's grand final. What are your thoughts on that matchup again?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. No one likes playing Canberra. They're rivals big time. Thanks, guys. I'm not happy tonight, no. I love my team so much. Canberra, obviously we know what they're like. They're tough. They're our biggest rivals. you know, we just got to play hard. Every one of them, even bench included, can score and, you know, are great players. So we've got to learn to lock down each and every one of them and come out and hopefully get the win.
Congratulations on tonight. Good luck on Sunday.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Sarah Blitzar's 13 points, 8 rebounds. It was huge in the fourth quarter. Thank you to Brayden as well. Look at the Chemist Warehouse match highlights. And what a night. It was a fun night. And this second half, Swagmai Belzer, every time the Flyers challenged, someone stood up, and there you go. Swagmai Belzer was able to do it in the third quarter as well. Annalie Maley, what a big night. But it is Mitchell to Steph Blitzars. Their stars stood up late for the Flyers.
They did, and that's what you got to do. And we talked about winning ugly. They definitely did. And Sarah Blitzar's just there saying it was good to get over the line, and it's good for them to know they have something to work on. They're not going to be too happy, but the physicality the Flames played with was outstanding. And one other team in this league plays just as physical, if not more physical, and that's the Canberra Capitals. So they know that if Canberra gives them that, that could be a whole different story. But just a couple of turnovers. We talked about that last turnover. Lauren Scherf passed to Mansfield, picked off, and then a couple of crucial layups missed. It's going to hurt you against these really, really strong teams.
That's the big thing, and we talk about second chance opportunities. They were brilliant tonight on the boards, the Flames, led by Annalie Maley with 17. But when it comes to second chance points, they only had 7 on the night. And every time they got an opportunity and made the Flyers work defensively, they just couldn't put it on the scoreboard. And as great as they were, the Flyers' defense was able to stop them from really capitalising on that.
You're exactly right. Just a couple of plays here or there when it was maybe an 8-point, 9-point game and they missed a bunny or two or had that one real defensive breakdown or gave a Liz an easy one. Except that's the big one right there. That's going to come back to hurt them because just an unforced error. Lonnie Mitchell wasn't even really looking to grab it. Just Lauren Mansell trying to go a bit too early. But big shots again. Sarah Blitzar stepping up when they had to. And the Flyers came in. They had to win the game. Wasn't pretty, but they managed to get it done. But look at the rebounding count, 51-30. That should be happening for the Flyers, which is exactly why Sarah Blitzar says they're not happy. But they found a way to win, and that's ultimately the most important.
The 51 rebounds includes 20 offensively for only 7 second chance points. And while I do harp on about it, they work so hard to give themselves more chances, and they're falling a couple of points short. But as much as we give a credit to Sydney Uni Flames for playing so well for 39 minutes, the Flyers did what you said they had to do, the wing ugly, and this is what the superstar teams do. The best teams look over, if they're holding a championship trophy or they're playing in big games, they pinpoint certain games where they probably, with a little less talent, don't win, but this is a game tonight that they did.
No, you're exactly right, and what a game from both teams. And the Flyers just got it done in the clutch, and as you said, that's what the good teams do. And yeah, we'll give them a little bit of confidence, strangely enough, because if they find themselves in a position in the finals where they're not playing too well, they can kind of know that they've been there, done that, and they've managed to win an ugly game. So in a strange way, it's good for them. Just like that loss to Canberra early on was good for them because it changed everything for the way they were playing. With the Flames, I think they'll be real disappointed. As you said, they gave up. They didn't execute enough for getting those O boards, and for a lot of that game, they played really well.
Let's have a look at the rest of what is going to be a wonderful weekend as we head towards the end of the regular season. What a huge Friday night and Sunday it will be in the Chemist Warehouse WNBL. Tomorrow night, the Boomers and the Spirit. And then, of course, the Townsville Fire and Adelaide Lightning. If the Fire win, which I believe they will, even though you cast a little shadow on it earlier, they will be the 4th team in the playoffs. And look at this for Sunday. The Fire and the Boomers, and they're a big chance to meet sometime in the playoffs. The Caps and the Flyers, likewise. And then the Lightning and the Sydney Uni Flames, 2 teams. The Flames getting better, and the Lightning, who, when you look back on this season, dealt with some injuries with some key players before they even got here. And then the 1-week quarantine has not made anything easy for the Lightning, but are continuing to play good basketball.
Well, it all comes down. It starts tomorrow night with that game against Townsville and Adelaide, and I think Townsville will be good enough. I think they're a smoky for the whole thing, and it's going to come down to if they take care of business. But if they don't, if they slip up, then all of a sudden that Sunday is even bigger than it already is. And we see the Flyers, it's always happy. Smiles are always up and about with a win, and I'm sure they'll be really happy with that. But again, we harped on a little bit. Take absolutely nothing away from a couple individual performances from the Flames. I think Annalie Maley was absolutely outstanding. That's one of the best individual performances we have seen this season. She had 19 and 17 and 3 rebounds I can just snatched away from her, and a couple of other controlled tips. So really a 20-20 game against one of the most talented rosters in WNBL. Incredible effort.
Beautifully done. Couldn't agree more. But in the end, the Flyers get the win, their 10th of the year. And the Chemist Warehouse WNBL season now leads into what is going to be a remarkable last weekend. Don't forget, finals next week, Townsville. You've got to pick up your tickets. Jump on to WNBL.basketball because it is going to be packed to the rafters. Do not miss it. Pete Hawley, thank you.
Thanks, mate. Always a pleasure.
Anyone around the country watching, thanks a lot. Hope you enjoyed your basketball. Look forward to a big weekend of great games.